Only storyline, voiceover, and video editing is mine. If you like my work, then please subscribe to my channel. I don't know why they sent me here to talk with you, Jungkook grumbled, rolling his eyes as he leaned against the railing. His posture was casual, but his sharp tone betrayed his irritation. Oh, please, neither I am interested in this marriage, you snapped. If I had in my way, you would be a million miles away from here. Jungkook smirked, his eyes gleaming with mischief. Funny, isn't it? All those years of you pretending to hate me, and now your parents are practically handing you over because they can't find a perfect man for you without me. Your fist clenched at your sides, and you stepped closer, pointing a finger at him. Don't flatter yourself. This isn't about you. It's about them thinking I will fix you somehow. Fix me? Jungkook laughed, his voice loud and mocking. Sweetheart, if anyone needs fixing, it's you. Your temper is worse than anyone. At least I have a personality. You fired back, your voice echoing into the night. Jungkook is having fun teasing you. You know, he said, his voice dropping to a softer, more dangerous tone. I think you're scared. Scared? You let out a hollow laugh. Of what? You? Don't make me laugh. He snapped closer, his eyes narrowing. Not of me, of the fact that maybe deep down you don't hate me as much as you think you do. You breathed haste, and for a split second you saw something in his eyes. Something that wasn't smug or teasing. It was raw, almost vulnerable, but you quickly shook it off. You are delusional, you murmured, stepping back. From childhood to teenage, it seems like neither of you could resist the urge to irritate the other. He would pull your pigtails in school, you would sabotage his science project, he would tease you about your crushes, you would expose his embarrassing secrets. To the world, you were enemies, always bickering, always at odds. But deep down, anyone who really knew you both would say otherwise, because even if you would never admit it, Jungkook was the one who stood up by you when you fell off your bike in third grade. He was the one who helped you sneak out to see your favorite band in high school, and you were the one who made him soup when he caught the flu before finals and stayed up all night coaching him through his math problems. Enemies? Maybe. Best friends? Absolutely. But neither of you would dare say it out loud. The unspoken bond between you was something scared, hidden beneath layers of snark and sarcasm. As you step back, your heel catch on the edge of the balcony rug. You stumble. Before you could hit the ground, Jungkook's hand shot out, grabbing your arm and pulling you upright. The sudden closeness made your heart pound against your chest. His face was inches from yours, and for the first time, neither of you spoke. The tension was suffocating. His grip on your arm was firm but not hard, and you could feel the heat radiating from him. His gaze flickered to your lips for the briefest moment before he quickly let go, stepping back as if burned. You should be more careful, he said, his voice unusually quiet. I didn't ask for your help. You crossed your arms over your chest, trying to steady your breathing. And you needed it. He shot back, his smirk returning, though it didn't reach his eyes. There was few moments silence between you two with unspoken heavy words. You know, if we do end up getting married, at least life wouldn't be boring. He broke the silence, his voice low but tinged with that familiar teasing tone. You turned to him, crossing your arms. That's the only thing you have ever been right about, you admitted, your tone half joking, half resigned. Jungkook jiggled, the sound more genuine than his usual mocking laugh. He leaned a little closer, his voice dropping to a playful whisper. Wow, did you just agree with me? Should I alert the media? Don't push it, you warned, though the corner of your lips tugged a smile. Jungkook leaned against the railing again. Admit it, you missed me so much when I wasn't around. Yuan rolled her eyes. I enjoyed the peace and quiet which is taken by you now. Jungkook juggled, shaking his head. Jungkook went to US to complete his graduation, and now, few months ago, he took over his father's company, who was a business icon. He also became famous in this business world for his confident accomplishment. Well, I missed you. You breathed hissed, and you froze, staring at him like he would just spoken in alien language. The world seemed to tilt slightly, and for a moment all you could hear was the pounding of your heart. What? You managed to croak, your voice barely audible. Jungkook didn't hesitate this time. His dark eyes met yours, steady and unwavering. I said I missed you. Your heart was thundering in your chest. You didn't know what to do, what to say. This wasn't the Jungkook you knew. His eyes is telling something else. You stepped forward, your fist connecting lightly with his chest. Not hurt enough to hurt, but enough to make him step back in surprise. Idiot, you muttered, your voice shaking as you quickly returned on your heel. Jungkook rubbed the spot where you had punched him, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips. Still the same, Yuan, he murmured, shaking his head. The vows had been exchanged, the applause had subsided, and now the wedding celebration was in full swing. The venue was alive with music, laughter, and the clicking of glasses. Everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves, everyone except you. You stood by the drinks table, glaring daggers at a particular side across the room. There he was, Jeon Jagok, your husband, laughing and chatting with your cousin, the very same cousin who had once confessed her feelings to him, only to be rejected. The way Jungkook laughed, the way he leaned slightly towards her as she spoke, sent your blood boiling. You knew it was irrational. After all, he had turned her down years ago, but in that moment, logic was nowhere to be found. Without giving it much thought, you grabbed your heavy wedding dress and went towards them. They noticed you and stopped talking. Slightly your arms around his waist, you pulled him close, plastering the sweetest fake smile on your face. Excuse me, you said, your voice sugary sweet as you addressed your cousin. I hope you don't mind, but I would like to moment along with my husband. Jacob widened his eyes as you mentioned him as husband. Your cousin's eyes widened slightly before she quickly smiled and excused herself, clearly sensing the tension in the air. Once she was out of earshot, Jungkook turned to you, his lips twisting with suppressed laughter. Possessive much? He teased, raising an eyebrow. I am not possessive, you say defensively, though your tone betrayed you. I just didn't like the way she was hanging all over you. Yuan, she was just telling me about her new job. He chuckled. You huffed. Whatever, I didn't like it. Jungkook screamed widened as he leaned down, his face inches from yours. You're kind of cute when you're jealous. You know that? I'm not jealous, and anyway, I get it now. You shocked him slightly, your cheeks burning. Get what? He asked, titling his head curiously. Why you choose this heavy dress for me? You said you wanted me to suffer, didn't you? Admit it. Jungkook blinked at you, clearly dumbfounded, before bursting into laughter. Oh, sure, laugh it up, you said, glaring at him. Jungkook shook his head, still chuckling as he reached out to gently cup your face. His thumbs brushed lightly against your cheek, and just like that, the world seemed to slow down. His touch was soft, his gaze warm, and the playful glint in his eyes was replaced by something deeper. You look beautiful in this dress, he said softly, his voice low and sincere. Absolutely stunning, he said, kissing on your forehead. Your breath catch in your throat, and for a moment you couldn't speak. His words, his touch, his presence, it was all too much. Jungkook had always had a way of disarming you, breaking through your walls with a single look or word. Deep down, you knew the truth you would been denying for years. You loved him. You always had. You remembered crying at the airport when he left, the way his arms had warmed around you as if he didn't want to let go. And now, here he was, standing in front of you, looking at you like you were the only person in the world. And for the first time that day, the weight of the dress and the day itself didn't feel so heavy anymore. After the wedding, as you stepped into his bedroom, the realization hit you suddenly. This wasn't just his room anymore, it was your room too. You stood awkwardly by the door, unsure of what to do. Jungkook, meanwhile, seemed completely at ease as he shrugged off his suit jacket and loosened his tie, tossing them carelessly onto a nearby chair. So he began, turning to face you with a mischievous grin. You know what tonight is, right? You blinked, frowning your eyes. He leaned, whispered in your ear, our first night as husband and wife. Your face immediately turned worm red and you shot him a glare. Don't say it like that. Like what? He teased, taking a step closer. It's true, isn't it? It's a big deal. Should we celebrate? Maybe pop some champagne or he let the suggestion hang in the air, his smile growing. Your heart was pounding, and you felt the heat rise to your cheeks. You looked away. Where your confidence gone, you don't know. Jungkook chuckled, clearly enjoying your frustrated state. Come on, Yuan, why are you so red? We are married now, remember? This is all normal. I need to freshen up. Yeah, that's it. Before he could say another word, you darted towards the bathroom, practically slamming the door behind you. Jungkook stood where you had left him, laughing so hard he had to sit on the edge of the bed. She is so easy to tease. Inside the bathroom, you packed back and forth, running your hands through your hair in sheer panic. Oh no, why today? You muttered under your breath, glaring at yourself in the mirror. Your circle had always been irregular, but you hadn't thought it would show up now on your wedding night. What I am going to do? You grounded, clenching your hair. You hadn't packed anything, thinking you would buy the essentials later. But now you were stuck in the predicament you hadn't know how to handle. The thought of Jungkook finding out made you cringe. You could already picture that smug grin on his face, the endless teasing you would endure. And today is supposed to be our. You slapped your cheeks, trying to stop your sprawling thoughts. What I am even thinking. A knock on the bathroom door snapped you. It's him. Yuan, Jungkook's voice called, sounding both amused and concerned. What's taking so long? Did you fall asleep in there? He scrolled at the door, as if he could see your glare. I am fine, just freshening up. Freshening up doesn't take this long. He teased. Come on, you are not hiding from me, are you? I am not hiding, just give me a minute. You grounded initially, unsure how to handle the situation, but Jungkook wasn't one to let things go easily. Yuan, if you don't open this door, I am coming in. Panicked, you opened the door slightly, enough to stick your head out. I said I am fine. Why can't you just be patient for once? Because you are acting suspicious. What's going on? You hesitated. Biting your lips, there was no way out of this. Taking a deep breath, you blurted out, "Fine, I got my period. Okay, happy now?" For a moment, Jungkook just stared at you, and you braced yourself for a inevitable teasing. But instant, his expression softened. "That's it," he said, his tone so casual it catch you off guard. "Yuan, every girl gets their period. It's not a big deal. Why are you panicking like it's the end of the world?" he said, giving you a smile. You stared at him dumbfounded. "You are not going to tease me?" Jungkook chuckled softly. "Why would I? It's a natural thing. Besides, I figured this might happen, so..." He walked over to the cabinet near the sink, opened it, and pulled out a small box. Your eyes widened as you realized what it was. You brought this?" He shrugged, handing the box to you. "Of course, I figured you would need them eventually. I wanted to make sure you were comfortable here." Your chest tightened at his words, a warm feeling spreading through you. He had thought of everything, noticed even the smallest details about your needs, things you hadn't even considered yourself. "Even if we bicker all the time, that doesn't mean I don't pay attention to what you need." For a moment you couldn't say anything. You heard swelling at his thoughtfulness. For all his teasing and playful flirt, Jungkook had a heart of gold. "Thank you said quietly, your voice barely above a whisper. Jungkook gave you a warm smile. "Now get out from here." You pushed him out from the bathroom and closed the door. Jungkook stood there blinking in surprise. Did she just close the door on me? When you finally came from the bathroom, we found Jungkook waiting by the bed. His gaze went to you. Without a word, he handed you a glass of water and a couple of painkillers. "You have the worst cramps, don't you?" he said, his voice gentle. You hesitated for a moment before nodding, surprised it touched by how well he knew you. "Yeah, thanks," you mumbled, taking the pills and settling into bed, uttering executed from the day's events. Jungkook turned off the lights, the room dimming into a soothing darkness. He climbed into bed beside you, his movement careful. Moments later, you felt something warm on your abdomen. "A hotbed?" you asked, looking at him in the faint glow of the moonlight. "Of course, you think I don't notice these things about you?" He grinned. Though his voice remained soft, you didn't reply, but the corners of your lips tugged upwards. You both are laying, maintaining some distance. As the night scratched on, you tried to sleep, but the dull edge in your belly refused to subside entirely. You twisted and turned, unable to find a comfortable position. "Yuan," Jungkook's voice broke the silence, low and filled with concern. "Are you okay?" You sighed, shaking your head. "I just can't get comfortable." There was a pause, then the bed shifted slightly. Before you could ask what he was doing, Jungkook gently pulled you closer, guiding your head to rest on his chest. One arm wrapped securely around you, while his free hand began rubbing slow, soothing circle over your tummy. His touch was warm and careful, the steady rhythm of his hand a balm to your discomfort. "Does this help?" he murmured. To your surprise, it did. The tension in your muscles began to ease, and the relentless edge felt a little less sharp. "Yeah," you whispered, your voice barely audible. You snuggled closer to him, your body seeking out his warmth and comfort without a second thought. Jungkook noticed the change immediately. His lips curved into a small smile as he watched you relax against him. You moved slowly until you were entirely still. He continued to rub on your tummy. Before long, your breathing evened out, signaling that you had finally drifted off to sleep. Jungkook looked down at you, his heart swelling with a mix of emotions. He couldn't help but smile as he held you close, his fingers brushing lightly against your hair. "Good night, my official wifey," he whispered, his voice barely audible in the quiet room. He gave you a long peek of kiss on your forehead. The two of you found peace in each other's arms. He knew one thing for certain: no matter how many beggars or teasing remarks came in the future, this moment would always be one of his favorites.